Right, we are back. We're going to carry on now. We're going to plane some of this maple timber. I had to drop out of the last live. My mother was on the phone. She just come back from holidays. So, we're going to carry on where we left off, everyone. We still got to get this down to the 35 mil. I'm getting close. So I want to do a nice few passes on this timber. And I want a load of you to join in with the comments like we do on here. And what we're going to be making is a beautiful maple board. We are going to get there one day, but we're not there yet. So we need to carry on and we need to plane this timber down. I know I jumped off the last live. My mother was phoning on the phone. You might have heard it in the background, but I had to answer the phone because my mother's just come back from holidays. So it was a very important phone call I had to take. Parents and family always come first, as everyone knows. Right, it's Sunday afternoon now. We're going to crack on and get this planer fired up because I certainly need to get through this today to obviously start making the maple cutting board next weekend. So I'm looking forward to that. It'd be nice gluing that up together on another live, and I can get some videos posted on my channel as well. So we've got a lot to get through. I'm going to carry on now because I'm yabbering on as per usual. But thank you for those of you who's jumping on this live. Let's go ahead and start it off. So, I'm going to have a swig of my tea because I'm going to wait to see who jumps on this live now. So I'll have a swig of my tea and then we can get this live going. It always feels a bit odd when you talk into the camera. We're not a single person on you. But as we know, quite a few of you join in on these lives now. So let's go ahead and start planing this timber. If you've got any questions, drop them in the comments below. I always reply to everyone on here. So just check them in the comments. But there, for those of you who haven't seen any of these videos or following the lives, don't forget to like and subscribe so you can be updated for the next video that I post, so you can follow these jobs from start to finish. So for those of you who's just jumping on the live and you're keen to know what I'm doing, we are making a maple chopping board. It is going to be an end grain board. This is the maple that I rescued from a floor on a job. I am from the UK, but on this timber, it says made in Canada, and it's got Canada flooring written on there. It is some beautiful maple, all right? It smells stunning. There were water damaged floors, but we managed to take all this out. Once we got that piece then, I brought it home. Let me just grab a piece to show you. So I planed the old flooring down, and this is what I was left with. So we had some beautiful maple to work with. So then I thought, why don't I just glue 3 pieces of this together? So that's what I done. We glued them up last week on last week's live, didn't we? Together, we glued all these up. This is the beautiful maple here. So now we are just planing this down. We're going to make a 35 mil by 35 mil square on average. All right, that's what we're going for. And then we're going to actually make this maple cutting board. So I will chop this on the saw, and we're going to turn these squares like this and glue them all together. Once that's all glued in a line, then we can cut to the depth of the board we would like to use, spin them around, and then we'll do another glue up and glue all them together. So we've still got a bit of work to get through. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to follow this from start to finish. This is recycled wood, mind, all right? As you can see, there's some bad bits. We've got all sorts going on this timber locks here. We've got all bad bits. So we're going to try and rescue what we can. It is producing a lot of waste, mind. I will just show you the waste under here. I've shown you on previous videos. I got a big, massive bag of sawdust to get rid of, but there, that is winding me up a bit. So obviously we've got a lot of waste. We're still going to have a lot more waste to deal with here because we haven't finished planing these yet, have we? Hello, bro. How are you? So yes, so we still got to plane all these down. I'm still going to have a lot of waste off here. So just for those of you starting off or thinking of doing a job like this, just be prepared. If you're doing a lot of planing on a machine like this, you're going to be producing a lot of sawdust. Now this bag that I've just shown you down here, that is only half of what I've had off this job, all right? That's only half of it. But I will tell you now, I've come up with a great way of getting rid of this sawdust, right? Not burning it or anything like that. If you have yourself a compost bin in the house, I've got a big massive wheelie bin that I compost in. So I put a nice layer of sawdust in, then I'll cut the grass and I put the grass on top of the timber. And I wet it as well. I also wet it up. So that's the way I'm getting rid of my sawdust. So next year now, all of this should have been rotted down, I hope. And then it can be used in the garden, growing veg or whatever you want to do with it. So that's my top tip I'll give to you about getting rid of the sawdust anyway. That's how I deal with it. But don't forget, we got the pre-separator down here as well on the dust extractor. I haven't emptied that today and that's half full as well. So we got a lot of waste to get rid of. It is worth it, all right? Because I'm hoping we're going to get a beautiful board out of this by next weekend. So if you like and subscribe now, if you want to follow this from start to finish, all right? You will be able to follow this project from start to finish. There are older videos posted on the lives as well. If you click on my live on my YouTube channel, you can watch some of the lives back because every live we do, I always upload as well. So all of them are on there for you to watch. So you can see where it all started. And you can see how far we've come today on this project. It's obviously taken loads of weekends of work. Obviously, I'm stopping, I'm answering comments and everything. I know I'm talking a lot now, but I just thought I'll just tell you all about this quickly. And then next weekend, I'm hoping we can actually jump on there and we can start gluing these boards together. So all this live is going to be planing this timber, all right? I'll show you each piece on the camera as we're planing so you can see. Here's an example, because I like to show you as we're going ahead with these planings and how they're looking. It is beautiful grain. It's a lovely wood. This is maple timber, for those of you who don't know. All right. I had to Google and do a lot of searching when I ripped this floor out to find out exactly what timber it was. When I ripped all these floors out, I was working with a carpenter and we weren't 100% what it was. But we actually found what it was. We know it's maple. Loads have commented on my YouTube channel to confirm it's maple, all right? So that's what we got here. We got Canadian maple in the UK, and we're going to send it through the planers now. So stay tuned and stay on ya. If you want to like and subscribe and follow this content all the way from start to finish, don't forget to do that so you don't miss nothing. So I'll go ahead now and we'll start sending some of this through here so you can see what sort of timber we're going to get out the other end. So thanks for loads of you jumping on the live now. We get quite a lot of people on the lives these days and a lot of comments. It's much appreciated. This is what builds the channels and builds these communities. So stay tuned. Here goes. We're going to start planing now. Here goes the first one. Danny's back. There's a beautiful sight. Look at this one. That looks nice on there, doesn't it? Nice to see you, Danny. Nice to see you back on ya. We're hoping we're going to have everyone back on who we had earlier, but we're not 100% on that. But there's quite a few of you on here now, so don't forget to like and subscribe. We do mention it. We've got some beautiful timber coming out here, Denny. You know this is an ongoing project, but we will get there. It is looking absolutely fabulous. Hey, Free, how are you as well? Right, so what was I going to say? I don't know if any of you can see this. We're having bits of sawdust firing out of here. Now, I've been clearing the back out all the time. It doesn't seem like there's nothing in there. Alright, doesn't look like it's got some sort of blockage, but I don't know what's going on with it. So I don't want a room full of sawdust. There's nothing in there, that's free. So I'll just screw this back on now and hopefully it will clear itself out. It's looking good to go. I don't want to put my hands in the machine while it's plugged in, mind, so I will pre-warn you. Never put your hands in the machine while it's plugged in, alright? Safety first, as we all know. Danny will tell you. Right, so let's just go ahead now and carry on planing this, and we can see what we got out of it then. Right, I know I'm trying to crack on, right, but what I'm trying to do with these, see these top two pieces? We got one in the middle that I'm trying to keep, and I'm trying to keep the top two. So what I'm trying to do is keep these distances the same thickness. I don't know how well it's going to go, but that's the best I can do to keep these squares. So I'd like that piece there and that piece there, the two outer pieces. I'm trying to keep them at the same thickness. I don't know if we're going to get that done, but we will see. I'm just eyeing them in by eye, right? I'm not going to be able to measure each of these because I don't know what thickness they were before they were glued. But that's the plan. Hi, how are you, Thomas? Nice to see you on here. So that's the plan of action. That's what we're going to do today, and that's what we're going to plane down, all right? But don't forget to like and subscribe to be notified when we go live on the next one. So here goes. What's the weather like in Pennsylvania, Danny? Hi, how are you? Thank you, Thomas. I'll be back now in a minute. Thomas, you've been on here a few times before. I think I remember you, to be honest with you, because I think we had a chat on you and I'm from Bridgend. Do you remember that? Hi, how are you? Rain in the past 2 weeks, kind of like you. Yes, Denny, it has been absolutely awful in the UK. We haven't had a decent day of sun for about a month now. The veg is loving the rain. Mind the veg does love the rain. But yeah, nice to see you as well, Thomas. Right, so we'll carry on planing this now. Nice to see some regulars jumping back on here. I will get back to everyone's comments, and let's just go for it. Is it right? Lovely. Here we go. Indeed we have. I'm on an awful lot. I work a seed. You work a seed, you, Thomas. Awesome job, that. I bet it is. I might hit you up a week or so for some angle domino tips. Yes, domino can be a bit of a pain. It's a lot of practice, Thomas, but you will get there with it. Just persevere with the machine. It is worth the effort in the end. A lot of us have had our ups and downs of our dominoes. I am from South Wales. got a good day. Yes, Danny. Right, so let's just carry on planing these now, everyone. We've got a lot of mess coming out of the front of this machine again. It's been winding me up today. It's been doing it regular. When I'm planing, it's firing a lot out the here. And when I open the back up, there's nothing in there. I can't seem to see anything jammed up in there. But this maple is a right pain. So just so those of you know, if you're planning to do any maple, all right, it's got a habit of giving these big little swirly pieces of sawdust that comes off there. And it blocks your hoses up. I should be running a bigger hose, mind. I'm running on a Festool dust extractor. Probably the wrong thing for this machine, mind, and it doesn't like it. It keeps clogging up. I have to have a good domino cutter, I found. Yes, Danny, I don't run any of my tools unless I'm pretty much brand new blade. I've always preached that, and I've always used the same make blade for the same tool as well. I don't like buying aftermarket blades. I think they're designed to be used with a blade that comes in the box. That's the way I look at it. It does cost more, but I think it is worth it in the end. Like, say I wanted to change the blades on this planer now. I'd only buy Makita blades. I don't know what it is. Might just be me. I know people like to save money, but I think it's pointless saving money when you need the cut or the finish. Look at the finish on these. As Denny knows, I haven't changed the blades in these for 1 whole year, and it's still cutting absolutely fabulous. So when I go and buy a new set of blades, why would I want to change the cut? I'd like to put the same blades in there to get the same finish as I've already been producing from the planer. So that's what I'll do. It costs whatever it costs, and you're still going to get a perfect finish every time, man. That's the way I detect anyway. The cut is most important, exactly, Danny, and that's what I like to do anyway. It does cost a fortune, mind, as we all know, but I think it's just worth it in the long run. At least you know you're running a good quality blade then, or the actual blade is designed to go onto that tool. That's the way I look at it anyway. So here it goes. We'll just finish off this set of planing now, and we'll set the depth again. Just go down a notch now on the planer. I've got the depth set for there. That's roughly what we were last time, but I'd imagine with the vibration has it moved slightly, so I will do a test piece from the pieces we cut last week to make sure we're at the same depth. But I can always send them all back through on the final setting anyway to make sure they're all correct. This is just rough dimensions I'm working to today. As long as they're nice and square and they glue up nice and tight, that's all I'm looking for on this job, really. But they're looking good. We're getting it anyway, everyone. So let's carry on. Yes, it is. We are making a cutting board. That's the plan. What's Thomas saying by there? I totally agree regarding consumables. Festival are expensive, but my 12-inch slide-in DeWalt has the same blade for the last 3 years. There we go, see? And that's the thing. See, if you run the right blade, the blade it was designed for, that's where these machines work better. Now, I think the blade they actually make for the saws, they work on the saw better because it's balanced to that tool. I think there's a big difference. See, a lot of people, they do say these blades work better, blah, blah, blah. But do they last as long? Do they sharpen the same amount of times? I've always stuck with a blade that comes with whatever saw you have bought. And that's what I've always done. Like we've said, it costs a lot more, but I think it's better in the long run. And that way then, say your tool breaks down and you take your tool into the wherever you're taking it or you send it off for repair, the first thing they will say is, what is that blade doing on the saw? It wasn't designed for that blade. This is the blade you're supposed to be using. That's why your saw broke down, because it's putting pressure on the motor, blah, 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 and so on. We all know the score. So I'll always stick to the same blades the tool is designed for. That's what I've always done. Costs a hell of a lot more, but you get a better cut. And for those of you who want to follow this from start to finish, we have mentioned it before, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next video. So we're getting this plane down now. I think I got about another 4 mil to go here today, so we are going to carry on with this. It's probably going to be about another half hour, this live, I would imagine. But this timber is coming along lovely. And what did Denny say by there? Right, he was talking to him. And what's that? I suppose that's why you call them consumables. As a case of factor them into pricing. No, I'm a hobby DIY woodwork. A marine engineer is my job, so it makes me change from the spanners. That is awesome, Thomas. That's the way to do it. Everyone loves a bit of wood, don't they? Right, so we're getting there now. We are slowly working our way down. But as Denny will tell you, I don't always stick to one tool brand either. I run a lot of different brands, as you can see. I got all sorts of nonsense going on here. It's not not every single tool brand is the best in every single category of tools. So I like to buy the best from every single one of them. Right, I'm yabbering on a bit. Let's carry on with this video. So we're just going to drop the planer down half a turn as per usual. And we will go ahead and plane this timber up lovely. I'm going to have a sip of my tea. And then we can carry on with this then. Don't forget, everyone, now drop in the comments below where everyone is from, because we always like to see where everyone's viewing from, because we get all sorts on here. It's absolutely brilliant. Right, so here goes. ETA of completion on this cutting board seems time expensive. Yes, Jesse, what it is a lot of hours are going to making one of these boards. I think if you were doing one of these, I'd say you're into a good week's work. So ideally, when you're doing a project like this, you want to order 20, 30 boards, don't you? And that's what's going to earn you money. But me doing a small DIY project on the side, obviously it's very time consuming, hours and hours of work on weekends and lots of planing. And don't forget all the gluing up as well that goes into it. Like say this board, we glued 3 pieces together, yeah? So we had to do a glue up, then we got to wait the 24 hours, then we cut the sides, then we plane the sides, then we size them, then we re-glue again, then we wait another 24 hours. Then we cut them, re-glue and get to our final board. So I'd say it's a week's work, easy. It's easy a week's work just to get a board like this made. It's going to take you 5 to 7 days, I would imagine, especially waiting 24 hours in between each piece to cure, because you need to give the glue time. I think if you push it too much, you're going to have a big mistake on your hands, obviously gluing all the little squares together. So time, you've got to give it time, and you've got to give the curing time. It's got to be 24 hours minimum, I would say. Yeah, there we go, Danny. That's exactly what I was thinking. You're never making money on something like this unless you're actually going to do mass boards. I've tried doing other glue-ups. There's been previous lives where we tried making squares and everything on my first attempt. They did come out looking nice. We got a board up here. Do you know what, Danny? I think you might have been with me when we made this. I'm sure Danny was here on the lives. This was quite a few lives back. We made these boards. I weren't 100% on these boards because we had a slightly different colour variation in the timbers. This is the first time I ever made something like this. But this took about, I'm trying to think how many lives it took to make this board now. I think we've done this over like 5, 6, 7, 8 lives. It must have been something like that. So yeah, they take a long time to make, but I think they're worth the effort. Yes, Denny remembers that as well. Totally agree. There's loads of comments coming on here, so bear with me if I'm missing some of them out. All right, boys? Right, so let me just put this away a sec. That was a long time ago now, that live. But yeah, that was the first sort of board I ever made. I haven't made any other boards previously to that. What does that say? I use Makita angle grinders, D-wall drills and saws, fast tool track saw, the nice one with the scoring blade. I haven't had the chance of using that saw. That's the TS60, I would imagine. Blade and a domino, fast tool vacuum, Hilti for breakers and drills. Well, Hiltis are built for breakers. They are the best on the market, and they mint diamond coring machines as well. We all want one of them, Thomas. Yes, as you say, best of each brand, each task. Yes, correct, Thomas. Right, so we'll go ahead and plane these now, everyone. Bit of a jam up there. Just going to clear this planer out, just getting blocked up on the back here, so just bear with me. This is the problem with this, they love to block up on you, don't they? So I'll just clear these out now. So have a look what Thomas just said. I seen Thomas drop a comment. The TS60 is a beauty. Happy to give you a crack at it in an awkward angle on a domino tutorial. Good one there, Thomas. I haven't had the pleasure of actually using that saw yet. I've had my finger hovering over the buy it now button, but I'm thinking, do I really need that saw? But I suppose I'm going to need it one day, aren't I? Hey, Danny, marine engineer on the LNG. That is absolutely awesome, Thomas. What a job you got. And he's a Swansea boy, everyone. Right, I think we cleared that out for there now. Then we can get back to what we were doing. Let me just have a sip of my tea, everyone, quickly. Do you know what? I say I'm sipping my tea. They're always stone cold, aren't they? Right, there we go. I think I've answered everything. Right, so we'll carry on now. We've got a couple of passes to do by ear. I'm trying to make sure this machine is clean because it can become a nightmare. We're not going to be able to see in here, and I don't want to be breathing all this dust in. I will say, mind Thomas, you got one expensive hobby, mind, with those Festool toys, but they're worth every single investment because the resale value, they hold their money, Festool does. We all see 25-year-old Festool saws getting sold at good prices. So you're never gonna be down. I'm in Swansea for the last 30 years, but a Paddy by birth. That is absolutely awesome, and we love the Irish, don't we? Right, so here goes. We're gonna drop down once again. This one out. Oh, Thomas. Hi, how are you? Right, Thomas, I was just thinking if you're going to try and do some sort of angle domino, you'd have to cut yourself a piece of timber, I would imagine, to set the machine to a side to try and cut in. I think it's going to be quite awkward, to be honest with you, but now you got me my head spinning trying to think how to do it. But I'll have a think about it. We'll have a look and we'll see where it goes. Maybe I can do a little video on it and have a little goosey gander myself, but that's if I get time for that. So anyway, thanks for saying hi. We will carry on with the video now. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to follow this from start to finish. And if you want to see the video progress, getting on to the final stages to actually see a board. I can't promise when we're going to see a board, but it would be nice to see some gluing up getting on next week on you, wouldn't it? And it would be nice to start seeing what we're going to get out of recycling all of this timber. But for those of you who haven't seen, look at the mound of sawdust we are getting just off making these. Now, we haven't got a shed load of these, look. I got this nice little pile by here. Let me just position the camera. And I got a little pile over there. But we're certainly going to get a nice few boards out of it. I'm hoping to get 2 boards. So we're going to work hard and we're going to get 2 boards out of this timber. And then I got another stack down there, look. But we're going to glue that up another time. And I'll probably do that as another project. Or think of something else to make out of that. So that's what we got. Let me just reposition the camera. I hope everyone can see everything on here. So I'll go ahead now and plane all this quickly, and I will see where we're at. Right, let me just jump back on the comments to see what we're missing out on. That would be great. No problem, Thomas, on that one. Denny's done some wiring on a ship called USS America. That sounds awesome, Denny. It sounds like you guys have got a bit of a crazy busy life going on here. And what's that? Yeah, it was so nice tackling. It's so smooth face. Is your personal invitation or you bought that machine? No, I did buy the machine, Josie. I think it was about 500 quid and it's been worth every single penny. This is just a bench top machine. That's all it is. It just sits on a bench. It's only small, compact, look. You can lift this, pack it away, and then you can just lift it up and place it back on the bench. But I will say it's very heavy. So you want to be careful, obviously, buying something to see if you can manage it. But they're big lumps of cast iron. This ain't cast iron, mine. This is just steel. So yeah, it's a good machine. Does me proud. Right, so looks like we can carry on now. That's it for comments on there. But don't forget, for those of you who want to follow this from start to finish, I know I keep saying it, like and subscribe, and we will get all to the very end video in a couple of weeks, I'd imagine. I'm hoping to do some gluing up this weekend on this. So the next weekend coming, we are going to glue them up. So let's crack on. Down we go, another notch. We're getting close. Let's have a look. Yeah, we're getting close now. Couple of parts. No problem, Josie, give it a love. Right, Thomas, Danny will tell you, these planers are pretty good. I don't get a lot of snipe. We're only having it if we're coming out of the back end of the planer here, and obviously this piece is thinner and it's tipping it. But I've had hardly any snipe. Excuse me, I'm itching my nose, but yeah, I have hardly any snipe on this plane. I'll just show you. There's a tiny little mark there, but on another pass, that'd be gone. It is very, very limited on this plane, and it is absolutely great. I haven't had a problem with it. But yeah, 9 times out of 10, it cuts perfect. I'd say more like 9.5, maybe 9.8, but you don't get hardly any snipe on this one. I might just be lucky, mind. There was no phones or cameras. I had to sign. Right, I'll leave you boys talk there. Do you get any issues with snipe on our planer? It is a lovely cut on you, Thomas. That's why I'm showing everyone. We got the odd mark here and there, but it's where the timber thickness varies towards the ends, where it's coming out of the planer and it's just slightly kicking up because of these steps in the timber. But apart from that, it's absolutely great. I'm impressed with this planer anyway. Right, so we carry on and plane this now, boys. and girls, mind, for those of you who's on ya. But don't forget, like and subscribe if you want to carry on following this from start to finish. Right, Thomas, I would say I did read that comment when I was playing in. If you haven't got a problem with it and you're happy with it and you're not having problems with snipe, I'd probably stick with that planer, to be honest about. I've seen this DeWalt one that I did fancy to start with, the big one where the head moves up and down, but it doesn't seem to be sold in the UK. It seems like an American machine, to be honest with you. I always see it on YouTube and in American videos, but it's hard to pick up in the UK. So I decided to go with this one. I did want that DeWalt one, but because I know I haven't got a problem with this, I don't want the other one now. I don't want that DeWalt one because I might get that one and I might regret it then because I could be having snipe or user error, blah, blah, blah. So I think if it's working, stick with it, to be honest with you. It's one of those best tabletop planers. You can get an upgrade, a helical cutter head. Yes, that's the one, Denny. I've seen loads about it. I fancied it for years. I went to try and buy one and I realised I couldn't get one. It had to come from America and I was gutted. No, there's no helical cutter head in this one, Thomas. I do try and show close-ups of the cut on here. But like I said, I do have a slight snipe, but very, very minimal on this planer. No, not the one I have, Denny. This planer has just got two planer blades. I don't know if I got spare blades here. I might have some. I'm not 100%. Let me just have a look. I don't think this is on mine. No, that's not them. I can't grab them quickly now off camera, but yeah, they're just two blades. I think you just unscrew them, spin them around. So I know I've got another set inside this machine and I can reuse and use. So there we go, boys. That's it on that. Right, so we'll go ahead and do another drop on the plane now. I think we're getting close, everyone. We're getting there now, and we will get this timber down to 35mm, but I've still got to spin it and do all the other side as well. And this is what people don't realise. There's a lot of work on these boards, but like I've said, for everyone now that's just joined in, like and subscribe. If you want to jump on here and you want to get notified when I'm going live on other videos to follow this from start to finish. So you won't miss out on nothing. Danny will tell you. It doesn't cost a single thing to give a like. So if you don't mind liking the channel as well and subscribing, that'd be absolutely great. Right, so here goes. I think that one got a bit stuck then. Oh, right. Hi, Joseph. What does that say for there? Yeah, pulling cable is hard work. I've done a bit of that and it is hard work. How can you get it in Kenya? We had Joseph, we've had a few people from Kenya on the last lives as well. I don't know how we would go ahead about purchasing one of these out there, so I couldn't really say. And do you know what's getting on my nerves? The sawdust keeps going up my sleeve, look. And that is itching my arm like there's no tomorrow. Right, so we're going to go ahead and drop it now. This might be the last pass for today, mind, just so those of you know. So those of you who haven't liked and subscribed, I wish you'd go ahead and do that now to carry on following this video. That'd be absolutely awesome. So I'm just going to have a look. We've probably got another couple to go. We might, so we'll just drop her down now. We're getting close now. I'll do another couple of passes. I think it was about 500, Joseph, if I remember right, when I bought this. 500 UK pounds, something like that. But I will say, Denny and the boys who follow my live see me running this machine for hours on end. It doesn't stop. It's never had a problem. It's been absolutely awesome. Probably haven't had as much use, mind, but it have had enough. Yeah, 500, Denny. Well done, bud. Right, so we'll go ahead now and just play these ones. up again. Hi. Got a bit of a blockage. Otherwise, we're going to have one hell of a mess. I should have had a look at that earlier. I had the clogging issue with my plane. It's a right pain, Thomas. It gets on my nerves. And I can clean all that out. I can put one piece through and then it's blocked again. But obviously you need bigger dust extraction with something like this. Obviously I'm using a smaller extraction. What's that? I glued a new outlet onto the front and blocked off the sides. I hope that helps. 100% is going to help. Maybe I should get some long brushes of some sort hanging down by here to stop all of this spewing out. But then, do you know what's probably going to happen then? That's got to suck all the dust away on the other end. So that could be a pain. What's that? Sylvia. Some people spray WD-40 and wipe it dry. Yeah, that's a good idea, Denny. Maybe I should try that as well. So yeah, we're coming along on this. We got another little bit more to plane. All right, so don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to carry on following this content. What's Sylvia saying by there? I am going to translate on you, Sylvia, sorry. So I don't know what you're saying. If you can speak in English, that would be great. But don't matter. You can still comment in whatever language or whatever country you're from. So yeah, let's just carry on with this video then. I'll show you it now. Here we are. This is on the back. So, you know, ideally it needs this 100mm hose, yeah? So we're reduced on this planer. So because we're reduced to obviously this 36mm hole, that's why we're having the blockages, all right? I know. Sylvia, say hello. Sylvia said, hello, good day. Thank you, Paul. Hello, Sylvia. Hello to you and have a good day as well. Hi, Sylvia. Nice to see you on here. So, yes, this is a problem I've got. Obviously, this reduces it. Lovely. Thank you. Right, so that's the problem we got, the reducer there, so that's why we keep blocking up. Right, so we'll carry on playing for everyone, but don't forget to like and subscribe, to follow, to see if you want to see this from start to finish, to get notified. Here goes. Paul, it is going to be a cutting board. That's the plan. Obviously, it's taking hours and hours of playing on there, but we will get there in the end. So we've only got one pass to do on these now, everyone, just so you know. So it'll probably be about another 3 or 4 minutes, and then this live will be over. So I just want everyone to say, how are you, Bill? Hi. Nice to see you, Bill. So I just want everyone to know, just so you don't get shocked, that I'm just going to end the live. We just got to send these through for one final pass now, and that'll be the end of today's live, all right? Just so you know. So don't forget to like and subscribe, to follow. Ready for all of us to jump on the next live next week. I won't be doing any more lives today, mind. I'm not going to lie. But I might shock some of you sometimes, because Danny will tell you I've said this before, and then I'm back on it again later on. So we will see. But at the moment, I know I'm not doing any more today, but I might. Hi, how are you? Nice to see you on here as well. So we'll just carry on with this now on final pass. Thank you, Sylvia. Right, Thomas, you've got a great question there. Now, this planer quite easily does multiple pieces. Now, the only reason I'm sending one piece through today is it kept clogging up. Now, if I had the right dust extraction on there, right, it basically can't handle the amount of dust coming through this reducer. That's all it is. It's all about this reducer. So I was sending 3 at a time last week. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 on each plane. It cut all of them absolutely beautiful. I've put wider pieces through here, Denny will tell you. I've put a lot of oak through this machine and it cuts it absolutely fabulous. I haven't got a piece of oak standing up now to show you. We've also put, where to is it? By here. We put some really hard purple heart through it as well. It planed this nice, but I'm not going to lie, we had a little bit of snipe up here. It looks like snipe, but it's actually quite flat. There's a very, very mild variation in it. This stuff is like concrete. This was really hard to cut, but the planer managed that fine as well. So I've done quite a lot of tests on it, Thomas. It does cut well. And I've actually put pieces through here. Danny will tell you. We put 280mm oak through it and it cut it like butter. So I haven't had a problem with any of it, to be honest with you. So we'll go ahead now and we'll carry on planing these. But like I said, this is the last pass. For those who haven't liked and subscribed and want to be notified on future videos, please do that now so you don't forget. Right, so here goes. Right, I see a lot of comments coming through by here. Yeah, Thomas, I do recommend the Makita, but as we know, the DeWalt is supposed to be the better version of the two, but the DeWalt costs a hell of a lot more. The Makita is a cheaper option, and it's absolutely awesome. Thanks for answering his questions, Denny. Thanks for that. I'm making a folding table using purple art. That is going to be one hell of a job using purple art, mine, Thomas. You're going to have a bit of fun with that. And maple and walnut. I bet it's going to look stunning. I haven't seen that dinner tray. That must be a quite popular channel on YouTube, I'd imagine. Does the purple heart stay purple okay in our climate? Right, I will tell you now. We cut this purple heart. Might have been a couple of months ago. I don't know if you were on the live, Denny, but I cut this purple art a while back. And this has stayed absolutely beautiful. What I found is, when the saws were cutting in, it created a little bit of heat, look. Look at the dark purple on the heat there. See that? So when it has a bit of friction and a bit of heat, it goes dark purple as well. Yeah, this was cut months ago, this was. I need to make something out of it. I'm so busy, right, with every single thing I do. I've never got time to make anything, and that's what I'm trying to get around to. It's all about the time, isn't it? The older, the darker it'll get. There we go then. Denny's just said the answer, but that's what I'm on about. So I've noted it does look darker from when we cut it last time. What you find when you first cut it, it looks like a really dark oak with a purple haze in there. That's what I found of it. And it's got that purple haze to it. And when left, like Denny said, you get this beautiful purple colour. Then these are a couple of strips I tested on the saws. It is a really hard wood. It is absolutely solid, this stuff. And it sounds hard as well. Let me get a piece and knock it on there just so you can see it. This stuff, it sounds like you're hitting a concrete block on it. There we go, listen to this. It doesn't sound like wood at all, does it? That is solid, that stuff is. You don't knock it with your knuckles. That absolutely kills, I'm not going to lie. What's that say? What is the cost? Yeah, Denny remembers. The cost of this, I think I paid about 40 quid. I can't remember. It's on one of the lives. I think it's some of the older lives, but I don't know if I've actually put the information on the live. I might have not put it in the description on there. It is like a hollow rock. The stuff is like concrete. It's really hard timber. But yeah, I'm looking to get some other tropical hardwoods as well. I will be purchasing some and sending them through the planers. Maybe there's something somebody haven't seen before, and maybe it's something we can all have a look at. Yeah, it is pricey. That is pricey, 40 quid for that piece per there. So yeah, we'll go ahead now and send these final bits through to end this live video for everyone. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to follow this from start to finish. Spit it out, Mark. So I'll just go ahead and finish these off now. So that's the last piece through the planer, everyone. Raphael, I will tell you the cost of the planer as we got some comments dropping on you. This planer was 500 quid UK pounds. So if you want to pick yourself one up, might be a little bit cheaper now. You might be able to pick it in a sale. You can pay a bit more, mind. It can come on a folding bench, I think, if I remember right. Yes. Nice one, Thomas. So yeah, we're going to end this live today, everyone. Now, thank you so much for coming on this live. It's what makes these lives, isn't it? It's nice to see regulars coming back, everyone chatting and everyone getting involved. That's what makes these lives. But if you've got any comments or questions, you can thank you, Denny. Have a good day yourself as well. You can drop them in the comments on the comment section on the live, or replay the lives. If you want to replay anything back, you can also do that. So yeah, we're probably going to be on next weekend now. I haven't got no plans. I am planning to come back on the lives for you guys and girls. So yeah, we'll jump back on the live next week. It probably is going to be still a bit of planing because we've got the other side of this to do. But I will tell you, we're going to be jumping straight on to gluing up next week so we can start see the board starting to take shape then. And hopefully the day after we can send them through the planers and have a look what we got. So thank you for everyone jumping on here. I'll see you on the next live.